Hi, I'm Christy. Today I want to talk about looking at how our loved ones learn. Ever wondered how your loved one with special needs learned something? I know I have. Every once in a while, AJ says something that totally takes me by surprise. And I wonder where he picked up that particular phrase or idea. Sometimes it's fairly easy to trace back. Other times, I have no clue where to even start looking for inspiration, and he usually can't help me figure it out. For example, last Friday was Veterans Day here in the United States. Since my husband served in the Air Force for a number of years and has a family history of military service, it's something that we're aware of. In past years, AJ hasn't seemed too aware of what this holiday signifies or that it has a personal connection. And we've let it slide. I don't remember for certain, but I'm pretty sure we've probably talked about it briefly and then let it drop. This year, though, my husband wanted to go out for dinner and take advantage of his free meal at a restaurant. The first one we tried had an hour wait at 5:30. So we decided on a fast food restaurant instead. While my husband was waiting to pick up our food from the front, AJ looks at me and said something to the effect of, "Veterans Day is when we say thank you to those who served our country." I told him he was right, while sitting there shocked that he understood that and was able to verbalize it so clearly. Maybe not the same way I would have, but correctly and succinctly. I told him that his dad and grandfather had both served their country. When my husband came back to the table with our food, he looked at his dad and said, "Dad, thank you for serving our country." I think we were both pretty surprised, shocked in many ways. And yet, this isn't the first time that he's done things like this. Over the years, there have been other times when AJ has popped out with something that just doesn't sound quite right coming out of his mouth. He always uses these phrases correctly in context, so he obviously understands what they mean, but he can never tell me what the word or phrase means. Several times, I've asked him what that word or phrase means, and I usually get a "I'm not sure" in response. Yet, he's used it correctly, so obviously he does understand what it means. Once in a while, he'll tell me that someone told him that or used that phrase, but most times he has no idea where he heard it. Or he knows that someone he watches on YouTube used it in a video. That's usually my default assumption if he can't give me any other ideas. It's a fairly safe assumption considering how much YouTube he watches. But that's gotten me thinking on more than one occasion. How do our loved ones with special needs learn? While I know the short answer is the same way everybody else does, I also know that that's not completely true. It often takes them longer to pick up simple concepts. And some concepts need more repetition for him to grasp, understand, and remember them. But given enough time and repetition, he does learn them. In the end, I suppose none of this really matters. But here's the thing. I'm beginning to realize that I want AJ to continue to learn for the rest of his life, just like I want to keep learning new things. So, in a way, I think it really does matter. When I stop and really look at his life, I realize that AJ is continuing to learn regularly. He learns about new vehicles. He's very aware of new items and updates coming out on his video games and what all the new updates and expansions will include. Are these things that I'm interested in or want to know about? Nope, not the slightest bit of interest in any of them. But he is very interested in these topics, and he continues to learn about things that are of interest to him, just like everyone else. Maybe he is more like the rest of us than I sometimes realize. Over the next few weeks, I want to take a look at some of the different areas that AJ is continuing to learn new things. I'm sure not every area will apply to every person, but I hope that you'll find things from most of the posts that will give you new insights or ideas to pursue with your loved one. If you have insights that you've gained from your loved one, I'd love to hear about them as well. Maybe something you've seen will help me with AJ. And in the end, that's what life is really all about. Sharing discoveries and ideas with those around us so that we all continue to learn things throughout life from those in our circle. So my question for you this week is this. What new things has your loved one with special needs learned recently? Are you in the habit of looking for new things that they've learned? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in November of 2022. If you prefer, you can always email me at Christy, CHRISTY, at havenofhopeforme.com. I'm looking for new things that AJ is learning so that I can continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.